They thought kicking me out would destroy me, but all they did was set my soul free. My name is Ayesha Khan. For 22 years, I was the perfect daughter, the one who stayed silent, who sacrificed, who carried the weight of the entire family on her shoulders, the one who smiled even when her heart was breaking, until the day they threw me out. While my father stayed up all night yelling at my little sister because the car insurance had lapsed again, money wasted on his endless gambling and pride, I was standing under the bright lights of the operating room at Houston Veterinary Specialty Hospital. My hands were trembling slightly as I assisted in an emergency surgery on a golden retriever who had been hit by a car. Tears were burning behind my eyes, but I didn't let them fall, not there. And not when a life was depending on me. Every night after that, while my mother left heartbreaking voicemails, her voice cracking with manipulation and guilt, saying, "Ayesha, beta, how can you do this to us? You're killing your own mother. Come back, please. We're your family." I would sit alone in my car after long shifts and cry until my chest hurt. I missed them. God, I missed them so much it felt like someone had ripped a piece of my heart out. Even after everything, the constant criticism, the emotional blackmail, the way they made me feel like I was never enough, I still loved them. But I chose myself. I went no contact. For months, the silence was deafening. Some nights I would stare at my phone, finger hovering over their names, fighting the urge to call and say I was sorry, that I'd come back, that I'd fix everything like I always had. The guilt was heavy. It felt like drowning. Instead, I kept going. I poured all that pain into my work. I studied until my eyes burned. I practiced my surgical skills until my hands stopped shaking. And one day I got the news I had been dreaming of, a fully sponsored position in the advanced veterinary surgical program with a significant raise. When my mentor told me, "Ayesha, you've earned this," I stepped into the bathroom and cried, not from sadness this time, but from pure, overwhelming relief. I moved into a tiny studio apartment in Midtown Houston. I bought my first real comforter, soft and warm. I adopted a scared little kitten named Luna who curled up on my chest every night, purring away the loneliness. Slowly, I started healing. Slowly, I started glowing. Then, at one stormy evening, came the knock I both feared and expected. I opened the door to see my father standing there in the pouring rain, looking older, broken, and desperate. His eyes were red and swollen. For the first time in my life, he looked small. "Ayesha," his voice cracked. "Please, your sister is struggling badly. Your mother hasn't been eating. The house feels empty without you. We're falling apart. I'm begging you. Come home. Fix this." My heart shattered all over again. For a moment, the little girl inside me wanted to run into his arms and make everything okay. But I stood tall, tears filling my eyes, and looked straight at the man who had once made me feel like a burden for simply wanting to live my own life. "You told everyone I was a monster, Dad," I whispered, my voice trembling but steady. "You said I was selfish, that I abandoned my own blood. You made me question my worth every single day." A tear slipped down my cheek. Then I smiled through the pain. a soft, quiet, powerful smile. "No, Dad, you did that all by yourself." He stood there, speechless, rain mixing with the tears on his face. I gently closed the door. No screaming, no begging, no going back. I turned around, picked up Luna, held her close, and let the sobs come. Deep, body-shaking sobs that had been trapped inside me for years. I cried for the family I had lost. I cried for the girl who had spent her whole life trying to be enough. I cried for every time I had shrunk myself to keep the peace. I cried until there were no more tears left, until the pain that had lived in my chest for so long finally began to loosen its grip. And then something shifted. As the last sob left my body, a warm, quiet peace washed over me. It felt like the chains I had been carrying since childhood had suddenly fallen away. For the first time in my life, I wasn't responsible for their chaos. I wasn't the fixer. I wasn't the villain they had painted me to be. I was free. I stood up, wiped my face, and looked at my reflection in the window. The girl staring back wasn't broken. She was glowing, eyes bright with new strength, shoulders relaxed, heart finally at peace. They thought throwing me out would break me, but it didn't. It freed me. Now I walk into the hospital every day with my head high, saving lives with steady hands and a calm heart. Now I come home to a peaceful space that is truly mine, where Luna greets me with love that asks for nothing in return. And now I'm healing, growing, and shining in ways they never allowed me to. The best revenge isn't loud, it's quiet. It's becoming undeniable while they watch from afar. I didn't need to yell, I didn't need to explain. I just needed to keep living, with grace, with strength, and with deep, tender love for the woman I finally became. And in that moment, holding Luna close under the soft glow of my apartment lights, I whispered to myself, "I'm proud of you, Ayesha. You chose yourself, and you won."